I want us to talk about Bongani Ntanzi exposing Mr. Mjiyako. As things were happening, I don't know if people paid attention, but I couldn't do this video, but this is the most important video, right? Bongani Ntanzi speaks about the fact that his cell phone, or he had two cell phones when he was, or as he was getting arrested, right? He had two cell phones. One that belongs to him, and the other one belongs to the girlfriend, right? And then he said that the cell phones were taken by the police. So the cell phone was with the police, right? Please follow the story very, very close because it is very important to understand everything that is happening in this entire case, right? So just after that, and then he speaks about the fact that then he gets arrested. He's not given a chance to make a call to the family, right? So then I even have a date. We'll talk about that shortly. Then later on, fast forward, he's arrested on the 16th of June, if I'm not mistaken. He gets a time to make a call. When was the date? I'll get the date for you. So he haven't gotten a chance to call his family. So you see this whole picture, right? So you then ask the question, how did Mr. Mjiyako came to know about the arrest of Ntanzi and suddenly he is a lawyer for Bongani Ntanzi, right? That's where, or when Bongani Ntanzi, or as Bongani Ntanzi was explaining that, I didn't realize that this was a setup. And then the words of Advocate Mshololo, where she explains or she exposed the fact that Mr. Mjiyako was working for the intelligence department under the South African Police Service up until 2016, where the South African Police Service it confirmed that he was a member of the South African Police Service up until 2016. I did a video about it. So now, this now makes a lot of sense if you understand the fact that he was with the South African Police Service in the intelligence department. Brigadier Bongani Gininda is in the local. You know what I'm saying? He must have known about him. Now the family did not appoint Mr. Mjiyako. Right, please get that straight. The family did not appoint Mr. Mjiyako. Ntanzi did not appoint Mr. Mjiyako. So then, because the family does not know the whereabouts of Ntanzi, and Ntanzi does not have cell phones. It has not been given access to cell phones and everything. Because of that, Bongani Ntanzi cannot appoint a lawyer. So who appointed the lawyer? That's where the expose is, and that's where you need to pay attention. Right. Speaking about paying attention, guys. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the Super Thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying? Will bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, I want us to take this journey. Let's look at the things that were said by Bongani Ntanzi. We will also talk about the cross-examination that happened today, which was quite interesting, right? But I want us to start here, right? Bongani Ntanzi, okay, so when he was arrested, the cell phone was taken by the police. Now, he then specified that, no, I did not make a call to Mr. Mjiyako, obviously because his cell phone was with the police, right? That's one. In fact, that's two. Number three, he says that, no, the family did not appoint Mr. Mjiyako, right? And then he will go on and explain. There's some important information that came out here. Hey, Mjiyako if he had visited the police station, but he did not consult with me. So how did you represent Bongani Ntanzi when you did not have a consultation with Bongani Ntanzi? How did you represent a client whom you did not have by Bizan, that because there's a word for that letter where Bongani Ntanzi is supposed to sign that thing where he's appointing you as a lawyer, right? So with Mr. Mjiyako, all of those things are not there. How did how did Mr. Mjiyako becomes a lawyer? How did he become a lawyer to Bongani Ntanzi without Bongani Ntanzi having to appoint him, without the family having to appoint him? Let's go on a little bit. So I never gave him instruction to represent me. That's what Bongani said. I've already told you. At Boksbeek Magistrate Court, Mr. Mjiyako introduced himself. He informed me he's here to assist me, right? So that was the first time Bongani Ntanzi is introduced to Mr. Mjiyako, but he's there to assist him. Who told Bongani Ntanzi, or who told Mr. Mjiyako that, you know what, go to Boksbeek Magistrate Court. There are people there that are interested or that will be in need of your service. Put 1 + 1 here, right? Allegedly. Put 1 + 1. You will notice this thing, right? That when Advocate Mshololo made this and said, boom, you were working for the Intelligence Department up until 2016 in the South African Police Service. Let's leave that one. Allegedly. So we're at Boksbeek Magistrate Court, and then again. So I was interested mostly in the issue of Mr. Mjiyako because it then explains the fact that this was a setup. It validates the statement or the confession, which we'll talk about shortly, to say the confession, indeed, the accusation that the confession of Bongani Ntanzi was a setup, it now begins to make sense. If you cannot give a clear direction, because Bongani Ntanzi says, you know what, I want him to show us the contact number to say, oh, I was talking to your sister, he gave me instruction, I was talking to your father, I was talking to your mother. And Bongani Ntanzi even said that my mother is not that person who's good with these technological things. So he cannot, you know what I'm saying? He cannot. So it's not the mother, it's not the family. So who? If you can answer, I don't know if you see where I'm going. Who? Right? You get to see that, nah, this child was set up here. Right? Everything was prepared. We're going to pretend as if, yeah, we have sorted everything. And this was a free and voluntary confession. It's like everything was prepared that will portray this situation as if it was done innocently and everything. But please answer the question. If we can crack this one, who appointed Mr. Mjiyako in this case? Right? Who appointed him? We want to know that person. But I can tell you this, right? The Ntanzi family doesn't know Mr. Mjiyako did not appoint him. That I can guarantee you. Having spoken to them, right? They don't know about that. Having spoken to Ngobile Mapisa, he doesn't know about it. He doesn't know a thing about, or he doesn't know him at all. A thing or two about Mr. Mjiyako is like, yeah, I don't know about that. We had no conversation, right? So who then? The who. Please understand, man, where we're going with this. The who. Who then appointed Mr. Mjiyako? When Bongani Ntanzi says the family doesn't know about where I am. They don't know about my whereabouts. So they cannot appoint a lawyer to represent me if they don't know where I am. So who knows where Bongani Ntanzi is? Finish it for me. Who knows where Bongani Ntanzi is? They that know the whereabouts of Bongani Ntanzi are the people who arrange Mjiyako to represent Bongani Ntanzi. Allegedly. Bongani Ntanzi then was arrested from the 16th of June 2020, right? From 16th to the 24th of June, he hasn't taken a bath. He is not given a time to make a call. Those are the things that we heard from Bongani Ntanzi, right? When he was asked about whether or not the injuries and all the stuff, given a chance, if I was given a chance to speak and everything, look, if I was asked all those questions, indeed, I would have told them about anything that is an injury into my body, right? But you will remember what happened at Boxback Court, right? That they were not afforded a chance to speak. So now the defense is painting a picture of people who did not, or they're trying to paint a picture that these people were, look, they did not report injuries, but you know what happened in court. So if I take you back to what happened in court, in Boxback Magistrate Court, you will remember that Bongani Ntanzi wanted to speak, but he was not allowed. The magistrate then, presiding officer there, told Bongani Ntanzi to speak through a lawyer. But now, listen carefully again. Now, if you remember the story of this lawyer, you will notice that, oh, this lawyer, right, is the very same lawyer that will tell Bongani Ntanzi to speak through a lawyer. I mean, sorry, the magistrate tells Bongani Ntanzi to speak through a lawyer, but this lawyer, he is the very same lawyer that was not appointed by Bongani, and the same lawyer that is telling Bongani Ntanzi to confess. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Well, speaking about getting what I'm trying to say, guys, on the 2nd of March is my birthday, so can you do the right thing, guys? You know what I'm saying? Do the right thing. Do the right thing. I want to buy a certain type of a camera, right? So if you watch the ads, become a member of this YouTube, becoming a member of this YouTube channel, you are helping me to get to that goal. 2nd of March is my birthday. But let's continue. Now, so look, Bongani Ntanzi then spoke about the 3 million offered by Brigadier Bongani Ntanzi. The magistrate did not ask me if a promise was made, so I could have made a look, so I can make a confession. In other words, he was simply saying, when you confess, they should ask Uguti, were you promised anything and all the stuff? And Bongani Ntanzi was like, no, all those questions were never asked, right? So it then validates the 3 million question to say, so what was happening there? Like, take me back and just try to picture everything here. So let's move away. Gininda asked me if I want the 3 million he offered me, right? So you will notice here that he denied it and say there's no such an amount of money. And I am coming with, I'm going to do something, a special episode about this 3 million offer and other people who were offered more monies, right? I'm gonna do a special video about it. Don't worry, it's coming. And the way I say it, let's grab it. Now, so then remember that I said Bongani Ntanzi never contacted his family. Also because his cell phone was taken away from him, so he did not have a cell phone. He then said that his family made their first visit on the 1st of March, 2024. 2021. Then he asked this question. He's like, even today, I'm still interested to know if it's my sister. I know the older sister. Obviously, when Bongani Ntanzi was saying that, we were in court with the little sister or the younger sister to Bongani Ntanzi, which is Nompumelelo Ntanzi, the younger sister to Ntanzi, right? So she was referring to the older sister to say, hi, she doesn't know about Mjiyako. So who appointed Mr. Mjiyako? If you don't get it, forget about it. Maybe I should emphasize, who appointed Mr. Mjiyako? Yeah. So I made my request not to them, but look, my family did not know my whereabouts, so they wouldn't have known they wouldn't have made a lawyer. And so, yeah, then he continues to say that statement says, look. Now, I want us to talk about something. There's a statement that says Ntanzi got injured while he was working underground, or Ntanzi had heart conditions. And then Ntanzi made a very important point and said, listen, you cannot work in the underground. if you have any local conditions like that, and then he names them. In other words, that the doctor that came and testified about the healthiness of Ntanzi, now we disbelieve everything. And then Ntanzi said, listen, go to where I worked, ask them to provide you with this information. You will go and check my medical history. You will notice that there was never such, because I wouldn't have been allowed to go down underground. So the thing that we were told by not Dr. Hlongwane or what, the dentist doctor, it shows that he was lying to us. So, and then it tells us that he was told by the likes of Brigadier Bongani Gininda that, bro, you are going to sign this statement. Come thunder, come rain, you are definitely going to sign this statement, right? And so he was forced to sign the statement, and so did he. But he never intended to do so, or it was not out of his voluntarily. It was it was out of his will. I'm sorry to say that. I wanted to say rather it was out of his will, right? So he was forced, and he was told that if you don't sign this statement, we are going to discipline with you. I'm sorry, we are going to discipline you. And then he continues to say, a plastic bag was placed on my head so I can sign the documents. So he said, yes, I signed the document. And then he says, if I had volunteered to confess to make the confession, he says that confession would have been written in isiZulu, because that's how I'm able to write in isiZulu. I'm like, Ntanzi. Guys, there's shenanigans that are happening here. I want us to break them down one by one, and until we are done. But wait a minute. Bongani Ntanzi then make this. 26th of October 2020, case number 632, you were charged. Ntanzi was arrested on the 16th and was charged for the murder of Senzo in Rustenburg. So Ntanzi says, no. Actually, when they said that I was arrested for the Nongoma case, that's a lie. And now you will remember also Vele on the Nongoma case that, you remember that there was a person that arrested for that case and sentenced for that case. And then Dennis asked this very important question, crucial. He says that he never signed a document, or a document that is called, I think, the power of attorney, which would have appointed Mr. Mjiyako. So, I mean, who appointed Mr. Mjiyako? It's a question that today I want it to sink into your head and realize that something is fishy about what is happening here in this case. Right. So, yeah, I think there's this thing where they were talking about Bongani Ntanzi, why it didn't, police were making sure that everything is done and is done in the right way, which Bongani Ntanzi then cleared that. So I want us to talk about that shortly. And then Bongani Ntanzi, once the confession was made, actually, these people never assaulted me. Then I want us to think deep here and just think a little bit deeper. It shows that, they gotten what they want. Now, they know, or they were very secured in terms of the person that they were going to pin this whole thing to. So what's the point of assaulting you if we have already secured a conviction, if we have already secured your arrest and your arrest and your conviction, because now we have the confession. So Bongani Ntanzi says, just immediately after this whole shenanigans, after his assault and all the stuff, after he had signed this confession, they never assaulted him again. I don't know if you understand where we're going with this whole thing, right? It is very important to understand where we're going, right? And then there's another statement that Bongani Ntanzi made where he says that it is only in prison where he was first asked how he was feeling. Police stations, there was never a visit hourly, which was stated by I don't know. There was this guy that came and testified in the very same Senzo Meyiwa case, speaking about how the procedure in the South African police service that every hour people must be visited and they must be asked if they need something, and then they even made an example about a person who was arrested and only to find out he was sick and then he was transferred to the hospital. And I sit here and I said to myself, guys, we always, just like what somebody said the other time, and that person said, I've seen people getting arrested and I've never seen police reading their rights. Even me too. I've seen people getting arrested. You see this thing of you have a right to remain silent and all the stuff. I've seen them in movies. In real life, every time I've seen a person getting arrested, I've never seen police reading people's rights. I've never. So how do we then believe police when they say they visited cells, these cells for 1 hour, every hour? I don't believe that story, right? And so it leaves a lot to be desired. But here's the question of the day. Who appointed Mr. Mjiyako? That remains unanswered, and it's something that deserves an answer. And you and I, we will have to explore this, but I can guarantee you it is definitely not the Ntanzi family, because no one knows about that. And secondly, I can guarantee you it's not Bongani Ntanzi. Why? Because he did not have cell phones. He did not have access to internet. You remember that they were busy moving around with him, telling us that Ntanzi was happy. Do you remember that? So it's definitely not Ntanzi. So if it's not the Ntanzi family, if it's not Ntanzi himself, then who appointed Mr. Mjiyako? If you get it right there, then the rest, what happened? It's none of our, look, it's something that we don't even have to worry ourselves about. It's clear that this was a setup. They had their man who was working in the South African Police Intelligence Department, was fired in 2016, and that is Mr. Mjiyako, who Gininda claimed he doesn't know anything about that, but we know he was in the South African Police Service. Who appointed him? And I want us to stop there. As I said, the question of the day is, who appointed Mr. Mjiyako?